What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my Resplendent review of Odin. I'll be going over the builds that you can run on him, and at the end I'll have a section which he definitely deserves and a lot of you really like. So Odin is a Gen 1 blue infantry mage with absolutely pitiful attack at base 24 even after the Resplendent stats, and he has got Odin's Grimoire as his preferred weapon. So this preferred weapon is basically a blade tome that doesn't have the special penalty, which is at least decent, and it does have attack speed link built into it. You could make him into a buff bot if you do run defense res link on him, but even then we do have buff bots like Faye with her weapon refine and also Astrum. And Blade Tome is good for giving him extra damage output, but Blade Tomes are not really as strong as they once were, back in Gen 1, because we have a lot of lull skills, a lot of panic, a lot of skills which just nullify any kind of foe's bonuses. So Odin is going to be having trouble against them. Not to mention we have a lot of damage reduction skills and also incredibly strong and tanky units, which Odin is going to be having a lot of trouble getting past. So his attack being that low is definitely not the best thing, and it's not really salvageable unless you're a big fan of him and you invest completely into him with all of your resources. His base speed is at 34, so it's definitely workable. He does have more HP than most of the mages, and if you compare him to the modern units, then obviously they're going to be coming out on top like Miriel, but even compared to a Gen 1 blue infantry mage like Mail Robin, even he is going to be a better investment because he just has more attack. So when it comes to a Gen 1 unit like him, you pretty much invest into him because you like him a lot. And if you like him a lot and if you just want to use him on a budget, then you can give him Defense Res Link 3. And this is available in the Grail pool on Halloween Enna and also on Sigrun. It's not exactly available in the 3-star 4-star pool, but I hope it's possible soon. So you can just run this budget build so that you can buff up an ally to all of their stats. And then you can just run Drive Attack Sacred Seal. And because he's going to be buffing himself up, Bonus Doubler could also be used. And he definitely needs the plus attack no matter what you do. Most of the mages are going to be lacking plus speed, but Odin needs that plus attack even at the budget. And if you want to invest a bit more into him when it comes to the support, then Infantry Null Follow-Up could be an option that you could run, but it's definitely very expensive. If you want to invest completely into him with all of your resources, Dragon Flowers and Ascended Floret, then you can just go with Attack and Speed IV and run Attack Speed Ideal 4 from the Divine Codes. Because of being fast, he can appreciate Null Follow-Up, and if you're going to be going with his Refine, then Speed Smoke 4 could be run. But I know many Odin fans do refine his weapon to the speed and then just run Attack Speed Oath 4 because it does give you the extra buffs at the start of the turn, and you don't really have to use an assist to get the attack and speed buff. So that is also a possibility with a high investment Odin. With Speed Smoke 4, he can get that damage reduction, which is going to be making him a bit more bulky. And finally, at like max investment, you can run him with Attack Speed Finish 4 so that he can get the healing as well as the true damage. And he can run Speed Resistance Tempo as well so that he can trigger her specials without really getting slowed down by the guard skills. And you can give him external null follow-up from Infantry Null Follow-Up or Infantry Speed Tactic. So outsourcing null follow-up is not all that hard right now, and you can still run Speed Smoke 4 to get that damage reduction and make him into a mixed phase unit. If you want to focus on his bulk, then you can actually run him with Close Reversal because he does have more defense than most of the mages, and you could run Spider Plush Plus, which does give you the guard effect and also the attack debuff on the opponent. So it can make him pretty tanky with that guard effect, and he can just be a tanky fast unit, but he's not really going to be doing too much damage despite his attack boon and also attack speed oath 4, because he's going to be missing out on the blade tome damage, but defensively this is going to be helping you with the guard effect. Odin out of anyone needs like the most amount of help he can get out of his weapon refine because his base stat is extremely lackluster by the modern standards, and Odin's Grimoire doesn't really do him enough. So this is my theory craft if I had to improve his weapon refine. So first of all, I would give him -1 special cooldown because that makes it a lot easier for him to spam specials, and I would make it so that the Blade Tome effect is actually evolved to Treachery. So for those of you who do not know, Treachery is basically a better Blade Tome effect where you can get the true damage depending on the visible buffs on the unit. And we have seen this in the harmonic skill of Groom Roy, and having this on Odin would definitely help him because he needs a ton of true damage, and this effect does that exactly. He can get +5 to all of his stats in the combat, and then he can get special charges on both his attacks and foes' attacks. So with the -1 special cooldown and the special acceleration that he can get, he's going to be able to spam specials a lot easily. And the true damage that he gets out of his visible buffs is going to be at least giving him better damage output. And for his refined part, I would give him even more stuff. So we're still going to be keeping the link effect, but we're going to be making it even better. So he can essentially have a spectrum link and null follow-up built into this link skill. And it's not only going to be working on the target ally and Odin, but also to the allies within 2 spaces. So if he's targeted by any kind of movement assist, or if he uses one himself, then he can buff up +6 to all of these stats and null panic of the allies within 2 spaces. So it makes the support aspect a bit better, and giving null panic to AoE to your allies is actually pretty good. And then he can get +5 to all of his stats again, and he can just nullify any kind of damage reduction skills when he triggers his special. So Odin is going to be having that true damage from treachery, and damage reduction is pretty much the thing which is going to be stopping the damage output, and when he triggers his special, he's going to be able to ignore that. So I've taken some inspiration from his Odin's Grimwar Tome in Fates, where it actually gives -20 critical evade to the enemy. So I've kind of translated that into neutralizing the damage reduction skills. And I've also made it so that his personal skill Aching Blood in his weapon is pretty much giving him that insane true damage which he can get. So with this weapon, Odin is going to be able to do 28 true damage per hit, and he can also support better and trigger specials a lot easily, and also be pretty much like a free-to-play young Innes, of course with much lower attack, who can, just bypass any kind of damage reduction skills with his specials, which isn't really all that common with mages. They don't really have a special like Deadeye or Lethality which they can easily run. So Odin would definitely be a lot more unique with this kind of weapon, despite having really low attack stat and not that high of a speed. Treachery might seem a bit insane, but honestly with how low Odin's attack is, you pretty much have to give him something that can give him a ton of true damage to actually make him do any kind of damage to the modern units. So let me know in the comments what you think about my theory craft about his improved weapon refine, and if you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member down below as well. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Blade Tome against Distant Defense 4. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.